Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Lost in Translationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Adventure Last Evolution, Kizuna. I'm joined by Quinn.
Hi.
And the lovely Chloe, who is equally lovely as Quinn.
Hello.
Because I forgot to say lovely Quinn, but she is lovely.
I like to think so.
And I forgot to introduce myself, because I don't know why, my brain's just not working today.
Saving
I'm
best for
also
last.
May. Lovely is to be decided, but I am May. I do exist.
It's fair.
Unfortunately, the lovely Evie will not be joining us because we had a bit of a miscommunication about the recording time, which is a shame because I would have liked to hear Evie's thoughts about this movie because there was some great Patamon in this.
I can summarize it as Patamon in a hat as a hat.
Yep.
Yeah. Patamon with a hat is the best thing in this movie, and you can quote me on that.
Yep.
So before we get into covering the movie, here's a quick synopsis if you haven't seen it or if you just need a bit of a refresher. So a mysterious illness starts causing chosen children around the world to fall unconscious and also have their Digimon disappear. The chosen meet Manoa, who tells them that Digimon only have a limited time with their human partners and disappear when they grow up in whatever extent, like maybe if they grow up too soon, whenever they are considered grown up.
Very unclear.
It seemed like they just, to me, maybe hit a certain maturity level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or to some level of potential use.
Independence, or yeah, they're real unclear about whether this is a personality milestone thing or a, you're running out of energy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used both, because in Taichi and Yamato's case, it was just I think it's both, the evolution speeds up the process. It's very much just it sort of just happens.
Yeah, it's very confused and fairly contrived, considering, we have to later ask, why didn't you tell me about this? Well, it was socially awkward.
And also, I'd like to point out that Sora it just happens to Sora completely, off screen.
Yeah.
One shot she's hugging Biyomon, and then in the next shot she's looking at her dead Digivice, and I'm just
So I don't necessarily think that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But I think Sora should have been in the movie to any meaningful extent before that.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I'm not sure if you saw the short. But there's many shorts, but only one actually was released on YouTube and had English subtitles, and in it Sora's talking to Mimi, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to fight anymore. I kind of just want to make flowers like my mum and just kind of be separate, and I don't really want to be involved in all the Digimon
Okay, but
things
that's
anymore.
bullshit. Put it in the movie.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. It's so weird.
You
it's
cannot expect me to bring that into this. That is absolutely unconscionable.
Yeah,
you had more than 90 minutes.
Look, the best I haven't seen all the shorts yet. I do own them on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched them. But one of them, first of all, one of them has Pumpmon and Gotsumon in it. Another one has Biyomon and Palmon watching Sylphimon train, and they're like, "Hey, what would our Jogress be?" Which is great. Anyway, so yeah, so that happens, and we have them finding out that this illness is because of a Digimon named Eosmon, and Taichi and Yamato face the fact that they will soon part from their Digimon, but they continue to evolve and fight to save the other children. Manoa is revealed to have created Eosmon as she forced herself to grow up early and created her own Digimon to basically kidnap children so they're always children. Mm-hmm. And so because she lost her own Digimon. Agumon and Gabumon evolved to their final forms, which I don't think are actually mentioned in the movie, but one is Bond of Courage and the other one is Bond of Friendship. So they're still Agumon and still Gabumon, but they're just human furries now. And then they're able to defeat Eosmon, but Agumon and Gabumon still disappear at the end of the movie. Taichi and Yamato say that they will see each other again, and Taichi decides on his thesis topic, Digimon and humans coexisting. And then I guess the epilogue happens from 02, and they all meet their Digimon again, but we don't know how.
Yeah, you don't get to pick a theme. You don't get to have this be Last Evolution and have the Digimon die and then canonically still come back and have that be a meaningful ending to your movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And also, this came out in February 2020, so 2 months before the reboot.
Yeah, also they cannot decide if the theme is you should let go of Digimon or you absolutely should not.
Yeah, you should, because Colin was bad.
Yeah.
What were our highlights for this movie?
I like the music.
Mm-hmm. Music was
good.
Quite good.
It looked consistently really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stole from Ava Rebuild and, steal from the best.
Yeah.
And hey,
Yeah.
Ava Rebuild then stole from Kizuna, so...
Yeah, like there was a lot of similarities to Thrice Upon a Time that I noticed, but...
We won't get too into detail.
Yeah,
but...
it was mostly just
still
visual
haven't- yeah.
similarities,
Still haven't seen it. Maybe I will, like, tonight, and I'll
you should.
think about
It's
it, and
real
I'll...
good.
Yeah. It's on Amazon, right? I think we actually do have
think so, yeah.
Amazon because
Yeah, it's on
Brady has a
Amazon Prime.
subscription. Okay, then that means that I can watch it, so that's pretty cool.
Prime
Anyway, so I really liked in this movie how, and it was only shown like twice. It was Greymon Evolution and also Metal Greymon's Evolution. And it was just a reanimation of the original one from the first season of Adventure, but with the Digivice phone. And I really liked it. Like, I know it's just a nostalgia grab, but it
really
worked
was.
so well.
I was kind of into the Digivice phone, but I wish we'd, had a single line of dialogue about why this is better.
Yeah, I mean, they still have their Digivices, so it's not like they
Also,
changed. And
What was with the weird digital goggles that did nothing?
just gonna
the
mention
goggles! They do nothing!
well, he had them in Try, right? These digital goggles. So I guess these are just
Did he?
upgrades of the digital goggles.
I guess, but in Try they also didn't really do anything. I think they were just an excuse for Ty not to be wearing his goggles at the beginning of the movie, which is real dumb.
They used them once, I think, in like the first movie to see like where the digital lines were coming from.
Right. Yeah, we also go out of our way with Mekumon to ensure that you know that Try is still canon, but also we're not going to follow up on any of the hanging plot points from Try.
No, like, and I guess this is
Even
a low,
though our
low
villain
point, but
has the exact same motivation.
Jedi, yeah, I know, that's my main low light, but Jedi shows up and nobody sort of referenced the last time that they saw Jedi, he was doing things like being upside down and licking Sora.
Yep.
Like, we're not going to mention the evil Jedi.
It's okay,
who...
we also forgot that Sora exists until 80% of the way through the movie.
I mean, she was sprinkled through every here and there. She did have, less than 1% of screen time.
Yeah.
Look, that all checks out for a Digimon movie, that, like, Sora exists but isn't
No one
present in the
cares.
battle. Mm-hmm. And Mimi and Joe are off doing something.
Yep,
At least
Joe is
Mimi
off
just
being a
died.
doctor. Or not being a doctor.
Yeah.
They can never decide if he's any good at it.
He
He's
becomes
perfectly competent. What are you talking about?
we know that he becomes a Digimon doctor, so I think that he actually failed becoming a human doctor and then
Yeah, I mean,
decided
he's
just to
doing
be a
his
Digimon.
residency, but it sounds like he does not get his license, because we see him,
No.
we see him fixing broken bones with rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Well, alright.
I'm just saying,
I was
he's not a
inclined to say
great
maybe he's
doctor.
just, pioneering a new field and wasn't that interested in doing it in humans in the first place, but...
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't he have to also be a vet? You would need to be a doctor and a vet.
Do
be
Digimon
a
have
Digimon
biology?
You'd
They've
have to be a
been real
computer
unclear on
scientist.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you would probably be better to be also a
I
computer
think
programmer as
Koshiro
well.
is
probably
way
most
better off at
qualified.
this.
Yeah, you can just reprogram the Digimon.
He's just so good. Maybe that's why he doesn't seem to give a crap about security.
Yeah.
God, Koshiro, learn anything about security.
It's 2010 at least, which I feel like is before we were kind of like
He
as
took a
security
USB
conscious.
stick from a stranger and put it on his corporate mainframe.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this was set in 2010. That's why they all have like chunky boy iPhones. Mm-hmm. But I feel like
With weird crest
feel like-
cases that Koshiro made, I guess.
Probably.
yeah, I really like that though. If he did make this new Digivice, basically, I feel like that's fairly cool.
I wish that we had gotten. I don't know. Tell me about what happened with the D terminals. That'd be just way funnier to me.
I am continually confused about the D terminals because
D terminals
in
makes 0 sense.
0
I
2
agree.
cents,
Seeing
But-
that I don't know what it is.
it's something that stores
It's
the
a
Digi-Eggs in
Palm
0 2.
Pilot that they can use to store eggs that they can use to get alternate evolutions.
Oh.
But also send emails.
Yeah, these are not weird magical devices. These were apparently just Palm Pilots the kids all owned, canonically.
Yeah, because Taichi has one. In like the first episode, he
Yeah,
sends an
everybody
email to the
does.
others saying there's things going down in the digital world. So that happens. But yeah, we're just forgetting that those exist, I guess. But yeah, back to the point about Mako being existing in this movie. I also liked that the film also included not only just the chosen around the world, such as the Digidestiny Dingo from Australia, they also show Willis, which means
Yep.
that
both
final...
Digimon.
Yeah, which finally makes this movie canon. Like, it finally makes Hurricane Touchdown canon, as in, like, the show's never really mentioned it. It kind of just didn't mention it in 02, and except for in the English dub, but the original version never mentioned Willis ever existing, except for within Hurricane Touchdown, that one movie. So it's nice that that's canon. I'm just really, really happy to see all the children that we've seen throughout the show just show up in that part. Even though it was directly just ripping off what happened in Hurricane Touchdown, where Cherubimon wanted to revert kids back to being kids again and kidnapped all the original Chosen because he wanted to do that. So that's a thing. And also the world was vaguely similar to the Cherubimon world in Hurricane Touchdown.
I'm not sure if it's a highlight or a low light, but the weird final forms instead of Omegamon that I was expecting were sure frontier-y.
Yeah, they were very much just... I think I would have preferred it if it was a biomerge or matrix evolution in Tamers when they combined them. I totally thought they were
going to be, but then Ty's just sitting up on his shoulder, and I was like, oh, okay, because I really thought we were going to do a biomerge, but no.
No. Yeah, I thought that too, and then we saw the kids exist. I'm like, I don't know.
That's a weird choice.
They feel kind of weird being so human-like when War Greymon is
furry.
Human-ish. Yeah, very much so. But it would have made so much more sense if it was sort of the bond made them evolve together. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were getting at.
Yeah, like I absolutely, it looks like that's what that is just, right up until he's on the shoulder.
For a brief second, I thought it was Big Taichi is wearing Agumon armor or whatever, but...
That's horrifying.
I kind of wish it had been that.
I think that's already canon from the Angela Anaconda special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do I want to know about that?
Great.
You do, but I'll show you later.
Yeah, it is important required viewing for your Digimon experience, to be honest. See, look, I liked Angela Anaconda as a kid, so I remember
saw it.
Oh, I really, I'm not sure if it was just really popular in Australia, but whenever I talk to an American, they're like, yeah, that was weird. I've never seen Angela Anaconda before. And I was like, it was huge here. Every kid watched it. I
saw some commercials for it, but I, was only vaguely aware of its existence.
It is also possible that I was just the target demographic for Angela Anaconda at the time, because I was the age, and everyone else my age watched it and loved it, and everyone's parents loved it. So it is just possible that the Digimon movie Angela Anaconda part was just for people my age, because I loved it. So I guess I was just the target demographic, which is, go me, I have something going for me. I'm going to put that on my resume. Was the target demographic for the Digimon and Angela Anaconda crossover.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I really hate the art style of Angela Anaconda.
That's terrible.
I think you had to be there.
I'm glad I
think
wasn't.
you had to
I think the art style is probably a large reason why I didn't watch it at the time.
Yeah, I probably couldn't stand it now because I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't. But Angela Anaconda should have been in this movie is basically my takeaway from this conversation.
It looks like a shitpost.
It kind of does. I'm surprised there isn't a whole genre of Angela Anaconda shitposts.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are,
but
they're all Digimon related.
Of course they are.
Look, I've seen a post once that some kids' parents got divorced because of the Digimon movie, specifically the Angela Anaconda part. I can't remember the full context, but it was just it was after they saw that part in the movie. I can't remember it off by heart, but it happens.
Well, that sure is an interesting story we almost told.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I quite liked the movie. As this being my only Digimon movie aside from the American release of the other three at the same time, and having watched Atmon and the worst parts of Adventure : I guess. I really liked it. It was I didn't know that this villain's motivation was just a carbon copy of something that happened earlier, so I liked that we had a sympathetic villain.
Mm-hmm.
And I do still think that it was well executed. I liked that we were kind of a bit more, moody and mature about a lot of things, as opposed to just being, kids who yell a bunch and get, blast power of friendship through everything.
Yeah.
Even though we still kind of did that.
We sure did. But then also went, but sometimes that doesn't always work. Except it will
exactly. Later. It struck me as kind of gritty Digimon, and I was kind of here for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I said it. Deal with
Grittymon.
No, I'm here for it.
Well, yes, we are also still saying that things are still going to be radtacular from time to time, though. Yeah, are we good to move on to the lowlights? I liked most of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, like, miscellaneous highlights, which just, I mean, kind of already mentioned it with the evolution reanimation for Greymon and Mel Greymon, but I just really liked the nostalgic bits. Like, we had the Parrotmon fight with Greymon was... for one thing, I don't know why we all struggled as perfects to fight.
Okay, so that's
Parrotmon.
one of my lowlights is how are you this bad at fighting Parrotmon in particular, like 10 years of Digimon fighting later?
I mean, to be fair, Parrotmon is a perfect level, so Greymon being able to beat it was kind of just a little bit surprising, but
I mean,
yeah,
I guess,
it's weird.
but we've fought a Parrotmon in, I think, every series, and like it is not that difficult, and also you apparently have never learned how to avoid civilian casualties at any point in the last few years of very publicly saving the day.
Especially because Tri had basically PTSD in... sorry, did I say Tri or Ty? Because I meant
You said
Ty in Tri.
But
Okay, I combined Ty and Tri, but it just came out as Tri. But yeah, Ty in Tri had PTSD, sort of. In the first part.
he certainly should after, his mentor died in his arms.
Yeah, we're not going to mention them in this movie, though, which is
No,
weird,
they
because
sure
Maki
don't
just disappeared.
matter. Maki sure still is doing something in the dark ocean, I guess.
She walked into the ocean and with an AK-47 and didn't come back when somebody stole her motivation.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay,
as
Chloe,
a standalone
for
experience, I quite like this movie.
Yes.
But I don't have any of the background to know why it's bad.
Yeah.
So...
Well,
In
Chloe?
the context in which they wrote it, it has some real problems.
yeah, well, for a quick context for Chloe, is that in Tri, there was a kid, well, an adult that we found out was one of the original Chosen, and there was a part where they're all struggling against the Dark Masters, which are like these 4 really cool-looking bad guys. Sea Dragon, Robot Dragon, Tiny Child, and Clown. Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. Anyway, so they're all so the 5 kids were fighting against them and losing, and she was possessed by sort of maybe God. And sort of maybe God was like, I require stability. So all of the 4 of the 5 kids got their Digimon to evolve to basically the 4 gods of the digital world. But that means that the one kid who was possessed,
the 5th kid's Digimon to do it.
yeah, so they all attacked through the other Digimon, like through the I don't know, it doesn't make, I don't know why, but they attacked through
for
it.
some reason is a funnel for their attacks for no reason, and also the attacks don't work very well.
And even though we've kind of clarified that Digimon get reborn as eggs,
Hers doesn't.
Kind of don't. Hers doesn't, so she decides to reboot the entire digital world so she can see her Digimon again. But then when she does this, she finds her Digimon, but her Digimon doesn't remember her because she rebooted the digital world, so it doesn't have memories. And then she proceeds to strangle that Digimon.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It escalates very quickly. And then she goes mad, becomes a bad guy, and then, like, runs
Wanders
into a place
an evil
called...
dimension.
That's whack.
Yeah.
And holding a pistol, which evolves to an AK-47 and just, like, starts
I thought it was
laughing,
an
and then
AK
we
that
never
turned
see her
into
again.
a pistol, but
Yeah.
I can't say I remember.
Because Quinn was
correctly.
giving me the rundown about this, and she told me it went the other way around.
But
Okay, there was some guns evolving, and she was laughing, and then we never saw her again after she strangled a Digimon.
Yep. The movie also ended on telling us about a great evil coming.
Which Genai said.
apparently
which
never came.
We see Genai.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why Koshiro didn't just say, hey, Genai, you feeling good?
Well,
you're
I
right.
guess resolved that off screen, so that's nice, I guess.
And apparently Koshiro's been talking to Genai the entire time.
Yeah. We look, it's just bros being bros. You can't hold it against somebody just because he licked your friend.
You absolutely should.
You should, but
Yeah, you definitely should. But I guess that's sort of my low light, is that the fact that well, 2 things. Genai kind of is weird to be there when we're not going to mention that there was an evil Genai who
just
was ranting
wasn't
at the end
necessary.
saying, yeah. And also, this movie was kind of just a combination of Tri meets Hurricane Touchdown meets our war game. We have they're fighting the internet part of our war game. We have the Digimon kidnapping the chosen children and making them children again. And then we have the villain's motivation being Maki from Tri.
Yeah.
So it feels... And
It's
there's
a
also
real
nostalgia parts which are
hodgepodge
good.
that doesn't ever create enough new that it's it doesn't really stand on its own if you know that those other things exist, which is a shame.
Yeah, but it's good when it's actually just straight up referencing stuff. Like, that's cute. Those cute little Easter eggs, that's fine. But when they're just not just referencing it, they're just they're plagiarizing themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
but
I really think that the insistence on confirming that the epilogue is canon really undercuts the theming of the whole movie, because it is, you need to grow up, you need to move on, you should let go of your Digimon, but also we want to go around and confirm to you that yes, all those predictions we made 20 years ago are still definitely going to come true. It's very important that you know that Matt's going to be an astronaut. You cannot change your own destiny from that. So you should let go of Digimon, but also know that the characters are going to not let go of Digimon.
Yeah, I mean,
watch more Digimon starting in 2 months.
Yeah, watch all this adventure colon business that's going to happen. But the thing is, like, it was kind of nice seeing for the first time in a Digimon adventure movie that we can just pretend that we don't have to pretend that Digimon don't exist, because people have Digimon, so Digimon are just walking around now, and kids are like basically superheroes just showing up with their Digimon. It is so nice that for the first time we're not just saying, oh, what's a Digimon? I don't know. Like, because they have seen Digimon since 1999 and then again in 2002. So in 2005, when we're just like, what's that? Yeah. And then finally in 2010, we can just stop pretending they don't exist. I do appreciate that.
I was definitely down for that. I find it really unbelievable, especially in light of Tri, that there won't be any government agents involved in the whole, we're effectively superheroing and people just know who we are. And also, if you're gonna do all this pro bono superheroing, maybe charge them some money, because...
No, we already talked about this. They call it even because they destroy the frickin' city every time they do it.
That's certainly true.
Yeah, that is fair.
Yeah, also, we have... Again, it is just a lowlight for me that the Parrotmon fight was at all a big deal. It took way too much effort, and then they're like, how come only 4 of us bothered to show up? I'm like, well, you shouldn't need 4 of you.
Yeah, especially because they can all go to perfect level.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because in Tri, we all got to fully evolved form, so that...
Yeah, this just was not a problem.
Yeah, nobody else remembered that they could evolve beyond perfect.
Like, I kind of get why they included it, that maybe, it...
Oh, it's not that I don't think there should have been a fight scene, it's just, like...
No, but that's like I'm saying, that's like, it was because it was difficult for all of them so much, because they, like, don't really, they're not as Digimoning anymore, They're getting stuff going on in their real lives.
I guess... I would like to know more about
we established that
what's going on.
Agumon isn't staying with
yeah, that was screwed up. Yeah, he's like, Tai talks about how long it's been since he's seen Agumon and how Agumon has never seen his dorm room. Like, that is screwed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so that's probably
sad.
why it was so much harder for them than it should have been, because they're not as in sync as they once were.
Yeah, that's fair. That brings up a lot of questions about how you can have an everlasting bond, but where you ask your friend to just, like, hang out at home with your mom for 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's what put the timer on the
like, sort of. I sort of thought that, renewing that relationship and caring about your partnership again would make the timer go away when they brought that up. And then, no, that's not what happened.
I'm kind of glad it didn't, though,
I am and I'm not. Again, because there's almost certainly going to be a sequel in a few years where we wind back all of this because we have to sell more Digimon.
I'm remaining optimistic that, for me, this is the canonical end of all things adventure, and nothing else exists. Because, if that's the case, then this is pretty good.
That's fair.
But there is a 02 movie coming. I don't think there's a date yet, and I'm not sure what year it's set. I think it might be when Daisuke is, like, an adult.
Okay, so... God, I will lay down $5 right now that Agumon will be back and will have just come back off screen and no one talks about it.
Unless they just don't have Taichi in it and it's just Daisuke.
Nah, I guarantee. That's my bet right now is Taichi will be in it, Agumon will be in it, and no one will ever ask how.
That would honestly track.
That's fair.
That's also what they did with the post stuff for Tamers.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any other lowlights?
I can't decide if it's a lowlight or a highlight how Sora is handled. And I'll just say it, I guess, now, since I forgot to say it during the highlights. But, like, I don't know. I really like, actually, kind of the more, like, subtle angle they took with a lot of Sora's stuff, where, you know, I was asking for so long, like, okay, so, you know, what's Sora gonna do? Like, they keep showing her every now and again. Is she gonna come in and save the day? What's going on? And then she, you know, is saying, oh, you know, I don't want to go fight. And apparently that was because of some stuff that had happened in a special or something before. But, you know, also it kind of implied that she knew that, you know, her time with her buddy Digimon was limited and didn't want to make it run out any faster. But then
don't
it
think she
did
was there.
anyways, like,
But
during
was
the
she-
course of the movie. And
Yeah, but was she there? Like, when they found... I don't think she was actually there when they found out that she had, like, a short time. Like, I'm not sure if anyone told her.
I don't know if anyone did, but it seemed like she at least had an idea.
Yeah, I think once you start seeing a clock count down, it's a little obvious what's going on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if, like... Did a clock show up on hers? Because I know we had, like,
We did
just
never
a shot
see
of
it,
the
but
dead
you can
Digivice.
sort of infer it, I think.
Yeah,
We
it
did
must
see
have, because we saw her, you know, like,
broken one.
yeah, broken or, you know, turned to ash or stone or whatever one
Yeah.
after Digimon was gone. But I do also kind
is
of like that, you know, they how am I trying to say this? They didn't, you know, like, push that in your face. It was something that just, you know, clicked to me about a minute after that
Yeah.
scene ended. I was like, oh,
It was
wow,
also
poor Sora.
Yeah.
I found that it was kind of realistic how she just kind of wanted to live her life. She was like, I don't really want to do all the Digimon stuff. Like, y'all are enough to fight the bad guys. You don't really need me. I'm just going to be an adult
Yeah,
and have my own things.
when we saw that line, we both said at the same time, yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just wish that Sora had had a little more of the movie to develop that. I wish that conversation with Mimi where she talked about not wanting to
Yes.
fight had happened. You
Which
know
is
what
why
I mean?
I think that I land on that being a low light in the end, because it would have been
Yeah.
nice to get just a little more.
Yeah, I wish
you should-
that Digimon as a series cared more about women.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mimi was great in this movie, but also is the first one to be unconscious.
Exactly, and I mean, all that we got about how Hikari's doing is that Hikari's doing fine.
Yeah, Hikari exists.
Yeah, I mean, we had that conversation. That we were like, okay, well, you know, Joe's off being a doctor, and Mimi's doing her startup, and Takaru and Hikari are doing fine, it seems.
Yeah.
End of
And then they're
conversation
not-
about them as characters.
Takaru's writing a
Yeah,
novel.
not hanging me out with the...
Takaru's
they're not
become
hanging
a
out with
men's
Zero Two
rights
Kids.
activist when we weren't looking.
Oh, no.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that hat.
He's got the hat, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the hat.
But he's also got Patamon as a hat, wearing a hat, so
That's fair.
it balances out, maybe.
I really do
But
kind of hate Takaru's design. That is actually a real lowlight.
At least they kept, like, in Try, he was just random wearing hats.
That's fair. But the Trilby was pretty obnoxious, and it's
It was
not a good outfit.
2010! To be fair, I think everyone, like, I just knew a lot of people in university wearing that hat.
Yeah, I know
Because
someone
it
who
was
had
just
that exact
before.
look in 2010.
Like, it was just before it was, like, a kind of, like, a scumbag look. Everyone was just wearing that because they just liked the hat. Like, wearing fedoras and trilbies before it was, like, kind of a thing to wear them if you're a scumbag. So, I mean, that kind of tracks. Like, at least I can say, yep, that is 2010.
Yeah, it was definitely the era. I don't know, I didn't hate it. But
Yeah. But sort of, like, with the 02 kids, I liked that we got to see them. That's
Yeah.
good. That was cool.
Miyako was cool for the parts that she sort of mattered for.
I felt like she was more I feel like she was more in the novelization of this. Like, she was kind of just running the whole Digimon community, and it was
a book.
yeah. I actually
my
read the novelization.
God.
Yeah, it came out 3 days before the movie did in Japan, and I read it. I downloaded it on Kindle, and it's basically the same, except I felt like Miyako existed more in the book.
That's fair. I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the book didn't really show, like, as much of the cute little nostalgic Easter eggs as much, obviously, because they can't. It's animated. But yeah, without jumping ahead too much, my novelization review was 2 out of 5 stars, but it did enjoy the movie better because the novel kind of missed out on a few moments that were highlights to me because they were kind of references to the original.
Let me see.
Any other lowlights?
It struck me
No
as kind of
other
weird as how they just kind of had Agumon and Gabumon go from, like, baby back to regular, just, like, between cuts in the dorm room or wherever that was.
That's a little bit of a tradition, but it is always a weird choice.
Yeah, they were
it
just
happened.
like stuffing their faces with burgers, and then all of a sudden they're back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do that whenever they don't want to show an animation to evolve, or they don't have the time to show the evolution. They kind of just do have those cutaway evolutions, like, oh, they evolved while the camera was looking in the other direction.
Yeah. It just kind of surprised
I
me
don't
that,
mind
like, they didn't even do the, oh yeah, it happened under a waterfall and here's a glowing light thing, It was just no sound, no light, nothing, just bang.
Yep.
There it is. But, that's fine.
The times they do show it on screen, they tend to just have them spin around in a circle and then turn into their new form. It's very funny.
Huh.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
So, who were our favorite characters in this movie?
Patamon as a hat in a hat, hands down.
It's a very solid choice.
Yeah, that is a solid choice.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I have a low light that I want to talk about,
Oh, yeah?
which is
Go
a
on.
weird FBI man who is just shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can trust me, I'm just introverted.
Yeah, this guy who's walking around armed in a society where that's pretty illegal, but it's okay because he's an FBI agent. But, Yamato knows he can trust him even though he's lied to him in every conversation they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he trusted him very quickly.
And for just no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a last highlight, which is that Yamato's boyfriend at the beginning of the movie was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see more of, like, their university friends and their university life.
Yeah, I guess I wish that more of this movie had been, like, what are their lives, rather than, oh no, we need to fix a problem with Menowa causing comas and such.
Yeah, oh no, we need to do our war game again.
Exactly. I've seen it now 3 or 4 different ways.
Yay, let's do it again. They always do it. They will always do it forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of all they know.
The internet tubes were still pretty funny.
Yeah, I liked the internet tubes. The internet tubes are always great. I think my favourite would have to be, my favourite character in this episode would have to be, I think, Koshiro. I feel like he did good plot.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated that.
If I'm given a less memey answer, which is MEME-Y, not Mimi the character. If I'm given
Mimi,
less of a meme answer, the villainess's name, who's
Menowa.
I actually really liked her character.
Yeah,
even though it is apparently a carbon copy of someone else's. It was well executed. I sympathized with her a lot.
She did it better, and she dressed better.
Yes, and damn, that entrance that she made.
Oh, that was my last big low light that I really want to take a minute and say, which is, please, for the love of God, Anime Studios, if you're going to write a bilingual character, please get a bilingual actor. They exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's really jarring when your allegedly American character has a really funky sounding accent, but also just, like, pay people from diverse backgrounds. Come on.
Also, well, I guess while we're on that topic, also, I guess, kind of like a lowlight, is that when we have Manoa's flashback to her talking to Morphmon, she's speaking Japanese.
Yep. Yeah, she also
But
just
it's,
speaks
like,
Japanese really well, because it's plot convenient.
I'd rather listen to her speak Japanese well than suffer through her American attempts.
I mean, we
rather
did
they've
have
gotten an American
Willis.
actor who happens to know how to speak Japanese.
Well, yes, but since
know.
they didn't, I'm glad that they did what they did.
Yeah.
But I remember in Hurricane Touchdown, in obviously the non-dub, Willis was American and he would have English conversations when the Japanese characters weren't around, which made sense. He would say things like, Chalkmon, no, it's me!
Yeah.
Walrus! And every time, like, that end, please tell Mum Amy I'm going to the summer memory. I just die at, Chalkmon, no, it's me! Walrus! I just cry. I think it's Walrus.
It's pretty, what the hell was that series that we've been watching called?
Kiniro Mosaic,
Yeah.
which is mostly pretty good, but does have the exact same habit of allegedly British characters who can barely speak English, which, again, is not inherently a crime, but...
Well, in South America, it's just they inflect a sentence the way that no one ever would, and it's so jarring sometimes.
It really is, and I don't know, it feels kind of lazy when you can't get an actor who can do the thing you're trying to do.
Yeah. So, what were our ratings out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh, yeah? I gave it a 3, just because it's really hit by the lowlights really do hit.
That's
like,
fair.
especially how it's just Maki again, and we're paying attention to Try Existing because Mako's there, but also when Genai shows up, we're not just going to address, like, evil Genai was really off-putting, and we're just ignoring that. Like, I mean, it's a good thing that we're not, like, we're pretending it doesn't exist, but it still did happen.
Yeah,
Like,
and
these kids still
just,
saw that.
If you're gonna pretend it didn't happen, don't include him.
Yeah, like,
it would have been fine. Nobody was asking, "Where's Genai?"
yeah, honestly, I had
Genai's not on
kind
screen.
of
Everyone better
forgotten.
be asking, where's Genai?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of forgot that he existed until he showed up in this movie, and I was just like, oh, that's right. I'm annoyed about Evil Genai, but honestly, I completely forgot that Evil Genai existed until he showed up here, and I was just like, what? Why is he here?
Yeah,
like,
there was
were
just
we not
no need
terrified?
for it. One of the few things that Adventure Colon did really well was replace him with a floating rock.
Just he replaced him with Google as well. Koshiro gave us the plot stuff.
Yep.
And that was fine. I liked that.
Honestly,
Yeah, you know what? I think I will take that back. I'm gonna change mine to a 3.5.
wow,
I'm sorry.
y'all.
Genai hits hard.
Okay, well, coming in semi-blind, I'm giving it 5 out of 5. I thought it was actually really good.
That's fair.
That's fine. That's fair.
I didn't have any of the background information about, like, plot inconsistencies or etc. So I think
Sure.
viewed standalone without any of that background stuff in your mind, like, it's
That's
pretty
fair.
good.
Like, I think it is a very competently made movie, but it is really hurt by choices that they made when you add it to the larger continuum that is Adventure, that they clearly
Yeah.
want you to, because, it's not like this movie exists without nostalgia.
I mean,
Yeah,
I thought it was
absolutely.
just fine without the nostalgia. I don't have the
Right,
nostalgia.
but I mean,
think
it
was fine.
would not have been created and would not be the fourth time we're rebooting Adventure if it were not for the nostalgia dollars.
Well, yeah, but that's your guys' fault for, having that nostalgia in the first place.
Well,
I mean,
there is that.
It is kind of funny that it's hurt by the fact that we know things that have happened in Digimon before, because
Yeah.
it's also got stuff that makes it really cool to people who have seen Digimon before, like all the visual references. That's great.
I don't
but
think
it's
the
also hurt
creators
by
of
it.
Digimon have a great hold on what the fans actually really appreciate about Digimon.
Apparently it's adventure and money, which is
And
sad.
all I'm saying is they could make more money if they would pander to us more efficiently. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do it better.
I mean, Ghost Game looks pretty good.
I was gonna say,
Fair.
fingers crossed for Ghost Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 episodes in, we said it for Adventure Colon, so this can go completely wrong, but 2 episodes into Adventure Colon, we were like, oh yes, this seems good, and then, no. But I really hope it's not the same case with Ghost Game, because I'm really enjoying Ghost Game.
Yeah, Ghost Game seems good so far.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I quite liked the movie, and I was kind of expecting that it would just kind of be a train wreck, so I was very pleasantly surprised.
That's good.
Yeah,
If it sort of exceeded your expectations.
Yeah, the vague impression I'd gotten was that Kizuna was not very good, but I couldn't have said why specifically because I was trying to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was expecting something like the American dub of the original movie, where we just have a bunch of like licensed
Music
Smash
running
Mouth and etc.
I liked that. I mean, I grew up with the Digimon movie. I remember renting it from the Video Easy, like just shortly after it came out, and
I mean, if I watched it
loved
when I was a kid, I'm sure I would have been there for it like no other. But watching it for the first time as a 27-year-old woman, I was. It wasn't a highlight for me. But the music on this one was really good. And apparently they had original
Which is
music
good.
on the like actual original Japanese releases of all those as well. But I wish
Yeah.
I'd heard the original soundtracks so that I could maybe like it more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's
And maybe sometime we'll go through and watch the original Adventure. It was pretty alright.
Yeah.
Especially if we watch
Yeah,
the 20 best episodes.
Yeah, condense
it's
it
very
for me,
much a
please.
baseline. Like for me, I always think, is something better or worse than Adventure is kind of like how I judge it, because Adventure's kind of like just average. It's very much just like
the
it's just a
standard
show
that they've
starting
set for
out.
themselves.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I'd rewatch Adventure. I'd probably even rewatch Adventure 02, but that's because I just really like 02 as like a nostalgic sort of standpoint.
Fair.
Any miscellaneous thoughts?
Nah, it was a pretty okay movie. It is definitely hurt by the insistence on going back to the adventure well over and over again.
Yeah.
So I definitely, I would say I hope this is the last time we do that, except there's another movie coming out, so.
Yeah, well, the adventure never ends,
No.
honestly. Like, it's the last evolution for 2 months until Colin started.
Yeah, and that That's where, I mean, they can't really pick their own theme, because the theme of the movie is you should give up on adventure, give up on Digimon,
evolution.
and move on, except even within the movie we're telling you it's definitely not.
The last evolution within that timeline. Because Colon's a different universe, yeah.
Well, Colon's a different universe, but we've got a 02 sequel movie coming out that will
also
be a sequel to this movie.
Is it, though? I thought that wasn't established when it takes place yet.
I guess it is a little unclear. I will be surprised if it's not, is I guess my... But
we just know that Daisuke was cooking ramen, and then he sees a Digimon or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, anyway.
I was, and maybe I just regularly don't give Digimon enough credit for being a little bit more gritty than I expect it to be, but I was, like, surprised that we had Taichi suffer, like, a pretty bad head injury, even though it didn't really amount to much, but, I didn't expect to see him bleed. And I definitely expected, for the final shot to be Taichi and Yamato turning around to see Agumon and Gabumon or something, but... So I'm also kind of impressed that they managed to refrain from doing that too. Yeah,
that moment where they're talking to their Digimon and then they look and they're not there.
Yeah,
like that got me. Like,
oh no, yeah,
it
I
definitely
choked up and cried a
it,
little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. It's just
affected me.
It was good.
Especially because
I've been with these
kids.
They committed to it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah, like well done.
Except that
until the epilogue.
Yeah.
Until the far off year of. Oh boy, the epilogue happens in 2027.
Yeah. So I guess my point is
years.
that they should not have gone out of their way to explicitly say, by the way, the epilogue is still a thing. If they'd left it even ambiguous, I would have a lot more respect for the theming.
Well, it's ambiguous for me because all I have to go on is your word, so...
Like, okay.
I haven't watched it, so...
I guess.
Give me some slack.
Oh, I'm not saying that you should know that, I'm just,
I guess another my miscellaneous thought, which is also kind of a highlight, is the fact that Miyako is studying to be a computer scientist because, and this was said in a CD drama that she is just on maternity leave, but that happened after the epilogue. And as a kid, I was kind of like disappointed that Miyako just grew up to be a housewife, because that was my impression of the epilogue, is that she was just
certainly didn't give us a whole lot else.
Yeah, they just said Miyako is married to Ken, and they have, a million kids.
He got to go be an important detective guy.
Yeah, but then a CD drama came out, only in Japanese, that was Miyako's just on maternity leave. She actually works alongside Koshiro and is a computer programmer. And I'm like, that's cool. Yeah. Wish me as an 8-year-old knew that, because me as an 8-year-old was really annoyed by that. And it's, anybody can be, a house husband or housewife, because, it's kind of my dream to have a house husband. That sounds really sweet. I get to come home and there's food on the table. I'll be like, yes! Mm-hmm. That would be, anyone is entitled to be a house partner or what have you, but I was really annoyed because I didn't fit her character
at all.
No, but people can change, and,
especially
maybe
she's, clearly gonna marry Mimi.
Yeah, I love the fact that it was never mentioned if Mimi has a husband or a wife. In that, it's just she has a child, but... She is her own successful, she is Gordon Ramsay, but Mimi, which is
but better.
Great. Yeah, but better. She is every celebrity chef, but better than them because she's Mimi. But, those are sort of my miscellaneous thoughts, that Kizuna is lifted up, but also put down because of nostalgia. It's its best points and also its worst points. Because, again, it's not... This movie wasn't unique in concepts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do wish the movie were a lot more original in its, actual structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 02 movie that's coming at some point, just because I've mentioned before, I just really like 02, and if it was well animated and well written, it would be just yes. Kind of disappointed Colin didn't, do a little bit of 02 as a treat, because that would be fun.
Mm. Oh,
Any other thoughts?
Yes,
yep.
I quite liked the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Just in
yeah,
general,
definitely.
It looked really good, but it also reminded me of the other moment with the rain on the window, doing the teardrops. What a terrible day for rain moment in reverse. Who was talking there? I can't remember now.
That was just a completely different anime that you're thinking of.
No. When they had I know that it's a Full Metal Alchemist reference.
Oh, but... Roy and
was that Hikari?
Hawkeye. Oh, you're talking about in this movie.
In this movie, yeah, when they did the thing when the big old drops of rain fell down the window and looked like tears because of the
Let me find that.
light. Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was very extra.
Somehow I had convinced myself that was a completely different anime.
Nope. I just don't remember at all where it was in here. Oh, yeah. I still don't really get what was up with the whole Aurora stuff.
Yeah, the Aurora really came and went out of nowhere and was just...
I got the that I think was another reference to the first episode of Digimon Adventure, where like weird weather stuff is happening out of nowhere, and also we kind of think like,
okay, but
it kind of got the impression that that opens like a gate to the digital world, and that's where Parrotmon came from, because
but it also
that's how
brought
the kids.
Morphmon back to life.
Oh yeah,
Or something.
The Aurora's a very Digimon,
and was a reappearance of the Great Skygina.
Yeah, which is, everyone's favorite Digimon.
Oh, right, I forgot about the porn in Taichi's room.
We're just kind of skimming through.
Oh yeah,
that
that
excellent.
happened.
Yep.
The freeze frame of
liked
his
that.
face there was real good.
Yeah, I liked it because it's another way of like showing that these kids are just kind of just developed to fairly, I'm not gonna say normal, but like common, like typical. There's the word typical,
they're relatively
like
normal
teenage,
adults.
like 20-year-olds, like
It was someone
Which
on a
is- it's
train,
kind-
but I think it was a different...
No, I think it was her.
Oh,
So it was.
yeah,
Something
yeah,
villainous.
yeah. Our villainess,
Train-kun.
Kaz has rain on her face through the glass that makes her look like she's crying. It's so
Right when
much.
she's recounting how she lost her buddy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed that, I guess, because I
Also,
don't know what you're talking
she
about.
has just some crazy eyes.
I know.
It's
I
real
like
good.
I like it. Yeah, they did a good job with her.
Oh, another thing, I liked the butterfly motif because
Yes.
the
I was
first
down for it.
opening for Digimon was butterfly, and Digimon love showing butterflies.
I
But
love
Morphmon
her
is a butterfly,
design.
and her hair clip.
That's
Yeah.
fair. It reminded me a lot of the Hollow Knight thing. People who've played Hollow Knight probably know what I'm talking about. I'm totally blanking. The Lifeblood butterflies. There we go.
I have not played.
Oh, great game. You should play Hollow Knight. That's my...
Is it like Shovel
shout-out.
Knight? Because I have Shovel Knight, and it was really hard for me, and I'm not very good at video games.
I've not played Shovel Knight, but I don't think so. It's a Metroidvania.
Are they? I think they must. I think they're related, right? I thought like Shovel Knight was the first game, and then
Nope.
Hollow Knight came after.
I didn't
definitely
think they were
not
on the
that.
same
No.
maker.
Nope, they are not.
Oh, okay. I just assumed because they both had Knight in the title.
I definitely thought that too, but no, they just were both in the indie game zeitgeist around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And Meta Knight's in it too, right? All the Knight games are related.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of
never
another Knight
met a
game.
knight who didn't.
Ugh.
That was good.
Well, play Hollow Knight. It's great. It has an excellent soundtrack also. Thank you for joining me on the Hollow Knight podcast.
Typically an Evangelion podcast. Sometimes
It was a pretty
Digimon.
Ava podcast, but again, Ava made the choice to steal from them this time. Also, I love Lime magazine.
Yeah. I've something that's
News
okay, this is
month.
Ghost Game related, but I just want to bring it up that somebody pointed out that, and this is I guess several somebodies, I just saw it on Twitter and read it, but the pineapple make of computers is back in Ghost Game, so that's cool.
Heck yeah, love that.
Nice.
Yeah. So do we have any other miscellaneous thoughts?
I wish
I
we'd
don't
watch
believe
Ghost
so
Wave
anymore.
game this week instead, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad we watched this. This was good.
Oh, I don't regret watching this, just on the whole,
You literally just said it. You
No.
said you wish we'd rather watched Ghost.
Yes,
Oh,
I wish
Ghost
there had been a
Game
new
is
episode
better.
of Ghost Game to watch instead. That would have been better,
No,
I think.
I'm glad I watched. No,
Fair enough. You are allowed to disagree.
I quite like this.
I also like this.
One last thought is that I subjected Brady to this movie, and Brady's really good with analyzing media. Like he likes a lot of books, and he likes watching like a lot of movies and analyzing them. And like he got all this imagery which I just did not connect. Like Eosmon's final evolution is covered with shields because Manoa is trying to shield the
Because
kids
it's an
from
AP
the
field.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but also, like, that is because she's trying to shield the kids from being, like, hurt by losing their Digimon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got all these, like, aspects. I'm like, oh, I did not get that at all. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that was a nice perspective to have from him. And he rather liked this movie, which was, like he said, it was fine.
Welcome
like, I think
to
he
the
gave it.
Neverland.
Yeah,
was a
I
lot.
liked that it was called
That was a
Neverland.
lot.
I also did really like, because when she was first introduced, I was like, wow, that's a really pretty butterfly, like, hair thing, tie pin thing she's got going there. And so I really like that,
There was a really
ended up
nice
having
through line
some,
with that.
Yeah. I think it was just a really well-made movie, I think.
She was a good character. She was
so
much better at
protagonist
being
looking.
Maki than Maki was.
Yeah, and also Maki and Daigo kind of just had like not protagonist looks, which I guess is also a positive for them. Like, they just looked like normal, typical people that weren't protagonists. They had normal, standard hair colors and looked normal standard. They wore normal standard clothes. And Manoa just looks so protagonist with her hair.
All of the code that is ever displayed in this movie is just some Python UI code, which is excellent.
Yep, she's just debugging her Python UI because the buttons don't work.
Oh, and like, okay, I haven't seen much of the Rebuild movies, but she reminded me a little bit of, she got a really extra name, Mari something.
Machinami Illustrious or whatever, yeah.
What?
Edward
That name
Wong
kills me.
Devruski IV. Ed made it up.
Why does Mari have such, like, illustrious, like...
Great question.
Because she's,
if
what's
you
his
want an
name's wife?
answer in 3.0 plus 1.0, I have bad news for you.
The answer is because she's just a stand-in for what's his name's wife. Anno's wife.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is his wife extra?
Apparently she just sort of fell into his life and changed everything and helped him deal with depression, and so he just sort of made that a big theme of the last movie, which is
kind of
really
nice,
sweet.
but also, like, don't rely on someone else to fix all your problems.
she said
So it wasn't
in episode 12.
I've seen people say that she's a Mary Sue, but, like...
Kind of.
She is an insert character, but I can't... That's precious.
She's the insert of a very specific character, and that's sort of fine, but it has some weaknesses to the overall story.
Okay, this is not the sound-only podcast, which is an Evangelion, is my sort of like my fantasy podcast about Evangelion. Which
I mean,
we should do it.
do
Like,
that,
I would
right?
do that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, there is no. Why are we not doing that right now?
Because we have to talk about Digimon still, and then we do Card Captor Sakura once Digimon is over, which is apparently at this point never.
Yeah, so I would
thought there'd be a
maybe
break.
like us to start doing 2 a week if we can again. I don't know if Moncast is going to be a thing again soon, but yeah.
We can definitely try. Adventure try. Anyway, do we have any other miscellaneous thoughts about Kizuna?
I don't actually know what Kizuna means.
Bond.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It means bonds. So that was the Japanese lesson for the week, I guess.
Yeah, well, hey, I learned a word.
Yeah.
The final form of What's Her Bucket looks a lot like an angel.
It sure does.
It was a very Ava moment.
It does.
And you know, Shinji really came out in this last bit here as we uncovered the light of the soul.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And you can join us next time for hopefully Digimon Ghost Game. Now that we're done with a 1-week hiatus, I'm excited for more Ghost Game. Yay. So the link dumps the description, and so is our Redbubble. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at and send us spam to LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com. Or you can comment on this episode or message us on our website, LostinTranslationmon.com. You can also leave a comment on the podcast YouTube video, and we'll read that out at some point, because that'll be fun. But then we'll have a lot of things to read out in the Ghost Game episode, which is still very exciting to me. You can also follow us at TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm at Digimon_Hero on TikTok, Hero spelt the weeb way, Hiro, and you can chat with us on the LostinTranslationmon Discord server, where I am venting about my special non-bones, as in my teeth. We have a Discussion thread on With the Will, and there won't be a Kizuna discussion thread because this movie came out a year ago. We would appreciate if you would review us on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, or any other podcast capture service that you use. And if I see the ratings, I will give it a read, but if I don't see it, you'll have to point it out to me. You can also donate to our Patreon, which links in the description from as little as $1 a month. And I skipped over some words there, but I'm sure it made some sense. Mm-hmm. Get it? Cents? Dollars? Money? Ha ha ha. Money. Ha ha. So there are higher levels with more rewards, such as unedited and early episodes and more. And I just realised I skipped a sentence as well. So the $1 a month option gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of the Discord server, where you can read my thoughts about my non-special bones costing me money. And by that I mean... Wait, I said non-special. I mean special non-bones. There we are. That's the wording. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so thank you to our current supporters there we are. Supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who I have forgotten how words work again.
You're killing it now.
Support on Archive Our Own. Kaidawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter, Chisai236. I haven't done this for so long. I haven't failed an outro. I don't know what's happening. My apologies. Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236. Kyle, Lismet, who's a Lekmon on Tumblr. Nicholas, Sam, Emery from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter x Hunter Rewatch podcast. Magnus, Lucas, Jason105, Patrick, Jason, Grey Tanuki, Jay, David, and Shelby. We got through it. I don't know why I can't say words today. Too bad I have a podcast. You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. You can also donate to me on my Ko-fi account, ko-fi.com/Airdra. So thanks for listening, and of course, thank you to my wonderful, lovely co-host for joining me. Quinn, can we find you anywhere?
On the Discord, if you must.
Also talking about special non-bones.
No, that's really just a you.
That's just me. And Chloe, thank you for joining me. Where can we find you?
You can also find me on the Discord, I suppose. I'm around.
But also not talking about special non-bones.
Not talking about special non-bones at the moment, at least.
Not at the moment.
I can't predict the future. I might at some point.
Yeah, I guess I mean to say that it is not a common topic for me.
Yeah.
I am down to talk, non-bones with people sometimes. Please don't tell me about your bones, but
Yeah.
What about non-bones?
depends how special.
Depends on the context.
Okay. But anyway, with that, thank y'all so much for listening and joining me, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.